I would suggest that that's one of your highlights this year.
Absolutely.
It is a massive project. It's going to set up a community within the community of Gravenhurst, which is an interesting, it's almost like a, like a Aurelia or Barrie setup where you have a separated community within the town, right? Because they're going to have their own, the grocery store is there. They're going to have their own restaurants. I mean, obviously they will come into Gravenhurst to shop, but they're going to be kind of set up there as well, which is, it's an interesting project, right?
Oh, it is. It's an amazing project. And one of the things that is really, really cool about this particular project that I really appreciate is quite often, and I was talking about this yesterday at another meeting I was at, quite often, we get developers that come to staff and to councilors and, want to talk about a project. And so staff go through all the process of getting all the planning documents together. We get it in front of council in a planning council meeting, and 5 years later, that project still hasn't moved forward, which is a real frustration because everybody's scrambling around trying to get approvals, intending that it's going to happen, and it doesn't happen. I can absolutely say that Skyline has stuck to what they said they were going to do, because I said exactly this exact issue to Greg Jones, who's the main person here. At the beginning of the process, I said, Greg, we go through this all the time. How serious are you about this project? And honestly, James, they have stuck to their timelines, and they are moving forward, and it is going to be a very interesting development in Gravenhurst for sure, with certainly 232 apartments. And as you say, those people that rent there literally could park their car and not have to go anywhere but there, because everything is really so handy to them.
But they could easily walk downtown too, because
absolutely.
It's really not that far.
It is not.
Here's my question for you, Paul. I asked this of the president of that company as well, and it's something that's been on my mind for a while about Muskoka. Is this the precipice of maybe Gravenhurst, but of Muskoka itself becoming the next, over the next 10 years, the next Aurelia or the next Barrie in terms of development and population? Do you see that coming?
I absolutely do. Absolutely. I thought, maybe as we said earlier about the blip in the real estate, we thought that might be a blip. It doesn't appear to be a blip.
No.
And when we're getting these requests for commercial businesses opening, when we've got so much of a demand for housing here, I absolutely agree with you. I don't think this is going away. No. And I think the next step is people from the GTA, but also from people from Aurelia and Barrie moving further north, trying to escape the GTA. And I think this is just a good example. And certainly Skyline, they want to continue development in Muskoka. They do not want this to be the one and only project here. Greg probably told you that when we were talking. They said, let us know if there's other land that comes available, because we want to continue the work here. And they're sticking with their timelines. I really do believe their plan is to have those first two open in September. And that's the kind of planning, and that's the kind of housing we need to have ASAP.